on a matter of personal and collective privilege. For the past several weeks, I have been subjected to numerous tirades over a comment I made during the hearing on the proposed 2023 budget of the Film Development Council of the Philippines, or FDCP, last October 18. The records of the Senate, specifically the Finance Subcommittee M, will bear me out that I was trying to take a grasp of the state that the audiovisual services sector has been in nowadays, which by and large is on the verge of collapse even during the pre-pandemic period, and which was painted in that hearing to be now in the ICU needing critical care from specialists. Sadly, my statements were magnified and even misconstrued by many, including a number of industry members who are part of the more than 760,000 workforce in the film sector, who I was trying to protect and fight for. What reverberated in the minds of many was the farthest thing from my mind. I was portrayed as a villain and an antagonist. Nakakalungkot na mas nanaig sa kaisipan ng marami ang mga katagang ito, hindi ko layon na mangyari. Be that as it may, I deem it best to put forth the issues plaguing the barely surviving industry that is personally close to my heart, with the desire of lighting even a glimmer of hope that it can still be salvaged. This, Mr. President, is the abysmal state of our local film industry. For this year alone, only 9 local movies have been released, according to the theater group operators. 9 out of the 20 Filipino films reviewed by the MTRCB since January this year. Napakasakit po isipin na may panahon na umaabot sa 300 ang naproproduce na pelikula kada taon. Now, it's not even a fraction. To come up with a quality film, producers have to fork out between 10 to 30 million. And according to FDCP Chairperson Tirso Cruz III, and to recoup this, they have to earn at least triple or 270%. But how can an industry barely in survival mode and among the most heavily taxed entertainment in Asia recover from its current state? To further illustrate, for a 50 million film production with a 100 million box office revenue, the producer needs to pay amusement taxes, value-added tax, and distribution fee. 10% will go to the amusement tax, and 90% will go to the theater owners and film producers. Then 45% of the ticket sales will go to theater owners. That has been the standard agreement between the producers and cinema owners or operators for the longest time, as the latter claim that they invest in the construction and maintenance of theaters. On top of this, there is VAT to be paid by the producer, and from the 45 million peso ticket sales, the amount will dwindle to 39.6 million. And from these figures, a 5% distribution fee will still be deducted, which leaves the producer with a final amount of 37.62 million pesos, which means that the producer loses 12,380,000 pesos. And if a producer makes a profit, he still has to pay a 30% income tax. The film industry, following the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, is confronted by an unprecedented phenomenon of almost no revenue coming in despite the easing of social restrictions. Likewise, our kababayans have to spend around 280 to 450 pesos per person in admission tickets when they watch in movie houses. Konti na lang ay katumbas na ito ng arawang kita ng mga minimum wage earners na nasa 316 to 537 pesos kada araw. Sa panahon ng kagipitan, kung kailan mahina ang piso kontra sa dolyar, mataas ng presyo ng langis at mga bilihin, madaling unawain at na hindi praktikal sa mga kababayan natin ang gumastos ng ganitong halaga. Tama nga sinabi ni Catherine Bernardo sa Hello, Love, Goodbye. Ang choice para lang sa may pera. Paano ba natin matutulungan ang naghihingalong industriya? Kailangan ba natin isubsidize ang paggawa ng mga pelikula? How will we do it? Should we give incentives to the movie producers or review the current tax structure? Sa pag-aaral na isinagawa ng ating Senate Tax Study and Research Office at batay na rin sa datos ng National Tax Research Center, the revenue collections from amusement taxes are relatively insignificant as compared to other types of taxes. Mula 2014 hanggang 2018, on the average ay nasa higit 1 bilyon lamang ang koleksyon mula dito. Not having to pay this tax would also significantly help Filipino producers recover their invested capital and enable them to produce more films in the long run. But even with fewer taxes to pay, the producers will still have to pay other taxes like VAT and income tax. Sa aspeto naman ng amusement tax na nasa ilalim ng Local Government Code at 1997 Tax Code, limitado lamang ang saklaw nito. Naniniwala ako na hindi malaking kawalan ito sa kita ng gobyerno. Sakali man natanggalin ito, maaari natin ito na mabawi dahil kung mapapasigla natin ang entertainment industry, lalaki ang labor force at lalago ang industriya na maaari mapagkunan ng mga tinatawag na recoupment tax gaya ng business tax or business permit para sa mga local governments, corporate income tax ng mga bagong korporasyon, withholding tax sa mga manggagawa sa industriya at lalago ang consumption tax o value-added tax. May mga bansa gaya ng France, Italy, Spain, Canada, South Korea at Malaysia na nagpapataw ng minimum quota requirements upang mapanatili ang exposure o masiguro ang pagpapalabas sa sinehan ng mga locally produced films. And at the expense of being tagged as second-rate trying hard copycat. Baka napapanahon ng gawin din natin ito sa Pilipinas. Sa ganitong paraan, masisiguro ang paglalaan ng screening sa mga sinihan, lalo na ng mga dekalidad ng pelikulang Pilipino. We are replete with world-class artists, and on many occasions, Filipino filmmakers and artists brought honor and pride to the country by winning top prizes in international film festivals around the world. Brillante Mendoza bested renowned directors like Ang Lee, Quentin Tarantino, and others when he became the first Filipino to win the coveted Best Director Award during the 62nd Cannes Film Festival for his film Kinatay.